Hello, welcome to the Insight Labs Looker Studio tutorials. I'm Errol and I help marketers make better decisions using data. In this video, we will talk about scatter charts and bubble charts and recreate this chart. So this chart shows us the revenue by state along with the sessions and conversion rates. And it has some informational lines. Let's learn how to create them. To do that, we can first start with adding a scatter chart to our dashboard. Let's make it big because we will have 50 states. And then we can add region as our default group. Again, we are using Google Analytics data. You can use this information. You can use that type of types for any type of data source that you have. All right. And we will have sessions and total revenue on X and Y axes. So at a glance, we have all these regions, states in this case, California, Georgia, New York, etc. As we can see, California is dominating. So the biggest real estate is here because of California. To evenly distribute this chart, we can use a scale. What I mean by that is a log scale. So if I use a log scale on x-axis, now the distances between those 0 to 50, 50 to 100 are not equal. They're logarithmic, but it's easier to find out the distribution. Otherwise, all these dots are coming on top of each other. We can use the same logarithmic scale for y-axis as well. So you see all these states by their revenue and sessions. So there are noise in here. So not all states are US states. Let's first remove the other states and filter this data source by US only. To do that again, we need to create this add filter. You can select country equals to United States. Now we ended up with US states, revenue, sessions. It doesn't look good so far, right? It's a bit nasty. So first let's remove the grid colors and turn it into a transparent. Then let's add some colors. So we can do that by turning this bubble color from one color to regions. So the colors will be associated. You can use these legends in multiple places. Currently it's on top, and I like to see them on the right side of the table because we will have 50 states. Let's list them here. All right, we have logarithmic scales on total revenue and sessions. We used colors to demonstrate different states. That's all good. Now let's add some informational lines here, reference lines. So first, we can add a metric. We can use the metric. Since that our table has two metrics, it selects one of them. In our case, we added a metric for average revenue by state. So on the right side, we do see the states that have higher than on average revenue per state. But remember, we had California way too much revenue generated compared to the other states. Thus, California is affecting the average numbers as well. To reduce this, issue, I would love to have another reference line. Again, I want to use metrics. Again, I will pick total revenue. They are now on top of each other. But this time, instead of using average, I will use median. How it works is that it lists all the 50 states by revenue, draws a line just in the middle, 25th state, and distinguishes the states by two, those who have above the median average revenue, those who are below. All right, now that we do know that California, Colorado, Ohio, New Hampshire, Missouri, they all do more, higher than median revenues, and some do even higher than the average. That's another reference line, this time for sessions. Let's pick metrics and now turn it into sessions. By default, it returns the average. Again, we can change, this label. We can add reference value labels to the lines. So on average, we had 624 sessions. Those who are above have more sessions than this, etc. So in a nutshell, we were able to create some distinct points that gives us, those who generate more than median, more than average revenue, and those who have more than average sessions. So for example, in this section, we can see that there are 2, 5, 7, 6, 8, types of states that made higher than average, revenue and higher than average sessions. Okay. Or those who are listed here are not sending that many sessions, neither that they are generating high revenues. So this is scatter chart. If you want to turn this into a bubble chart, the reason that we may want to do that is that currently we have 2 dimensions, right? The total revenue and sessions. What if you want to add one more? What if you want to have one more? Of course, our colors can be considered as dimensions as well. So we may want to add another metric to demonstrate the conversion rates for those states. Let's do it and see what will happen. So I picked purchase conversion rate. The first thing happens is that there are giant bubbles that are, on top of each other. So it's not that easy to see what's going on. So you can come to the style section and then reduce the size of the bubble. Much more readable. But the goal is not to create a dashboard or the charts. The goal is to, generate insights so that we can see, for example, New York is not only brings one of the highest revenues to the store and sessions, it also converts well. So let's turn this conversion rate to percent so that we can see the percentages. So for example, New York has generated about $8,000 in this time frame, and this many sessions, and its conversion rate is almost 4%. Virginia has these numbers, but look at this. For example, Maryland did not generate as much revenue as New York, but it didn't have sessions as well. You see, it's just below the average session line. So for example, if you are doing location-based marketing, and if you see such nuggets, we may want to increase the budget for Maryland so that we can bring more sessions. Even though conversion rate will drop, it can generate more revenue, for example. So you can try to identify those who have potentials, and these insights can change your strategies. All right, so this is it for this video. If you liked the video, please like it. If you want to learn more about Looker Studio, tips, tutorials, consider subscribing to my channel. And if you're a data-driven marketer who wants to be better, consider subscribing to my newsletter. And see you in the next video.